going to start the show for at least like 2 minutes or so.
Care.
I don't care.
I didn't care.
I don't care. Call me now.
I don't care. Miss Cleo.
That's right. Lord of mercy. All right. So she tells me, she goes, "Ooh, those are nice pants." And I'm like, "Stetson, see?" And I go, "Gee, I didn't even know how comfortable these things could be. These are the most comfortable things I've ever worn." And she goes, "Where'd you get those?" And I was like, "Old Navy. You can get it from Old Navy right now."
In the women's section.
In the women's section. And he goes, so she gets done complimenting me on these pants, right? And he goes, "You're supposed to back me up here." And I laughed. I go, "Dude, she knows good pants, right?"
This is not going to be a good deal for you.
So everybody's been feeding me gasoline.
This is not.
Aren't they so comfy?
Oh my gosh. Did you see the picture in Slack?
Like,
hey, Sergio.
You're probably at home on your computer right now. I know you are.
I bet he's on his phone.
Oh, yeah. Maybe he's eating donuts or something.
I want a donut.
No, he ate donuts this morning.
I think he just got the donuts. Do you think he? Let's take a little bet.
Go ahead.
I'll bet that he didn't eat a donut.
Okay. So what if I'm right?
Hey, Pedro. I don't know. What do you want to bet? I'm not really a betting woman.
Let's bet 100 burpees.
Oh
my gosh. Really?
Yeah.
Okay, Serge.
He's in front of Nectar.
Oh.
So.
Okay, so the bet is, I bet that Sergio did not eat a donut.
Okay.
And I will bet you the 100 burpees.
All right. Well, I know exactly what he ate, so I make this bet.
You already knew?
I was just trying to say.
What the hell?
Half a maple donut and a kolache.
I'm so mad at you right now.
One, did he say half?
That was so rude.
Look,
I got a really good slapping, though.
I know. I wasn't really taking that bet. I'm not making you do that. I already had the answer.
Rude.
I was just about to tell you, right when you said offered to bring me bets, I figured it would be good entertainment to trap you. Bye, Natalie.
Hey, Christina.
Hi.
Yay. We're glad you're feeling better. Sergio, you really wrecked me on that one, man.
I ate one maple this morning. See?
I know, but you've been like, I've been at Nectar, and I've been eating it all clean, and I just care about my clean eating. And then I ate a maple donut.
That's right. Okay. What did you eat before we got on camera?
Old West.
I actually haven't eaten today.
What did you eat before we got on
Oh,
camera?
I ate a cookie.
You sure did.
Oh, that was the first thing I've eaten today.
Do you want one?
They're really good.
You want one?
Sam, thank you for the
cinnamon.
delicious cookies.
You want one
I
right now?
ate one and it was
Right now.
everything I thought it could
Like
be.
right now.
And more.
No, seriously. Stop it. Get a cookie right now.
They're really good. They're soft
Planning my
and delicious.
Just one cookie.
Stop talking about donuts.
Right.
How about cookies?
That's right, Jake. Supporting your boy.
Yay.
I
What's
miss
up,
you, man.
Jake?
I really
Yeah.
miss you. I should put this phone on Do Not Disturb.
All right.
All right.
You guys want to start?
Yeah.
Cool.
So what are we talking about today?
Today we are talking about adhering. Oh, I'm Casey.
I'm Kadima.
Today we're talking about adhering to a schedule with your fitness. So making time and making things into habits, making it a necessity of your day. You want me to keep going?
Yeah, keep going.
Okay. Well, you start.
All right. There's lots of ways to do this, right? And we kind of got into this a little bit last week, but we're going to focus really on just the exercise part this week and just talking about how you can incorporate that in. Just one of the things is that life is always going to happen. So we're going to try to take it from that perspective that when you've planned and something's come up, how to still get something accomplished so you still continue to build that general habit over time. I think one of the things you have to realize is that it's not like you start exercising and you're motivated and you use that initial energy to be motivated, and you try to go like 7 days a week or something to start with, right? We call that the no first or last policy. You're not trying to race to some sort of finish, right? Longevity is the answer to every single thing that we're trying to accomplish.
Yeah. I think too, like, even with, it's kind of funny because, like, you know, you hear drink the Kool-Aid, like, oh, when you start, you drink the Kool-Aid. Well, I think it's that you're seeing, what's up, Kyle? What's up, Amy? I think that you're seeing those initial, like, changes, which if you have weight loss or something like that, it can be pretty quick that you start noticing, like, oh, like my legs a little tighter, or my pants are a little looser, you know. What's up, Uncle Steve? So you start noticing those little changes in your body or in the way that you feel or you're sleeping, and you're like, oh man, like it just feels good, and it's kind of easier almost I would say once you get over the initial hump of getting your foot in the door, then it kind of goes through this like phase of feeling a little bit kind of fun, like you're like, nothing's gonna stop me. And then I think it whenever you get a little bit down the road and life starts happening, or you have a couple of setbacks, it gets hard to have that same motivation. So that goes for anything in life, though, really.
It's interesting that you said that, because I've seen that perspective from some of our clients, and then I've seen the other one, which is where they know that maybe they've exercised before, right? And they've had a regimen or a thing before, and something got them off track. So maybe it just ended up with they missed one day, they got sick for 2 to 3 weeks, then they had some family stuff come up, you know, maybe a death in the family, you know, something. And then next thing you know, it's 3 or 4 or 5, 6 months down the road. They're already this far away, so now they feel like they can't start. Next thing you know, it's 2 or 3 years down the road, and now their biggest fear is not necessarily that they want to start again. What's up, Henry?
Hey, James.
One of their biggest things is that they're nervous about that soreness period again.
For sure.
They're nervous about that period of starting all over and that first 2 or 3 weeks.
And if it was however hard it was, that was 2 years ago, or that was 2 months ago, or how hard is it going to be now? And it's this whole mental battle, thinking that you have to come back in hot, you know, like you have to come back in going 100 miles an hour, when really, I think I think something that we pride ourselves in is trying to bring people back in. Like, even if you haven't been here in a couple weeks, or, you know, like, what's your rush? Why do you have to go and do something so outrageous? Can you just step back in? Can you just like move? Can you have that mentality to just come and just move if it gets you in the gym, and if it gets you, you know, get you started again?
That is, I think, is the hardest thing, especially if you're like a type A personality and you expect your best every day.
I'm not a type A. I mean, I expect my best.
Yeah. So
I don't think.
Once I took a week-long break from the gym that lasted 6 months.
Yeah.
I get that too. And I think that what we try to do is we try to set safeguards. And what we mean by safeguards is kind of like boundaries, or like we kind of be what we would consider your governor switch. And you have to find that internal thing for you. And what I mean by that is, be happy you got in the gym today and you broke a sweat. And sometimes you can beat yourself up with negative self-talk, saying, man, I didn't do the hardest that I could have done today. Well, hey, look, it's your first day back from 3 weeks or 3 months or whatever it is. Maybe even a week off.
Yeah.
Even a week off. I throttle down just a little bit, just because I've been gone a whole week.
Yeah.
I don't like to go back in there and just hit it as hard as I can. And maybe that's from experience going, I have kicked my butt so hard the first day back, and then I ended up in worse conditions, so now I'm trying to backtrack it a little bit. So I like to think of it like that, like, yes.
I think you just, and being patient with yourself, like just understanding, like, you're not going to come back in doing the same skill you were doing 2 years ago or 6 months ago, you know, like, you have to, that's again goes back to what we discussed about having realistic expectations, you know, setting realistic goals. And if we're setting, if we have this unrealistic mindset of when we come back that we're going to just be in the same place, then, we're kind of setting ourselves up for a mentally tough time.
Hmm. Absolutely. The what would you say is a safeguard that you use to, let's say, to exercise consistently, or to, or how to change your mindset if something is hurting? Like if you're nursing an injury, what do you do?
Oh, so easy. Well, a lot of things. So number one, to show up, I put it in my calendar. I schedule my workouts a week in advance when I'm going to dedicate that time of the day, that hour of class for myself. If I do not put it in my calendar, I will neglect myself and serve everyone around me first. And then I'm like, oh, well, that's just the thing that had to go. But that doesn't make me a better anything, really, in the long run. It doesn't make me better. So adding it to my calendar has been huge. I follow my calendar very precisely. So that is the biggest thing. And not forgetting, like, getting in there on Saturday or Sunday, and setting it for the next week. They could, if you go here, you can pre-register for those classes and put it on your calendar, like, so you're glued in. If I've got an injury, or something isn't feeling exactly right, I absolutely modify the workout. I have no shame in scaling down a movement or switching a movement entirely. I did it today, twice. So, and it's not because I'm hurt. It's just because it didn't quite feel right. So why should I risk it in one day of training? But I still had a great workout, burnt 500 calories, got sweat on, but what is the big point, or the big picture? What am I training for? Just training for life. I'm training to be better. I'm training to get more in shape, to stay in shape, to have consistency, just as many of you. That's your same goal.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
I want to hear what you have.
I for sure use your technique, because obviously we share calendars.
Mm-hmm.
So you see my calendar, you see when I work out, you know that I put that hour aside. You treat it like that, the same way that I treat your hour. I have to put it aside. I have to, because before, and I think really what helped me to really honestly was when we did the 75 hard last year.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, the 75 hard is a kind of a mental toughness challenge. There's a lot of physical components to it, but it's really a mental toughness challenge. So part of it is you need to work out for 45 minutes outside every day, rain or shine, hot or cold, doesn't matter. And then you also need to do a workout inside every day as well for 75 days straight. And that's not all. There's a nutrition component to it. There's a personal development growth to it. There's some restrictions that you're trying to adhere yourself to. You do it for 75 days straight. So if you mess up one day, you eat one cheat meal, you do one cheat snack, you do one cheat bite,
you get sick,
you start all over.
Whatever it is.
You start all over. You start at zero. And so for a lot of people, this can be very, very destructive, because the thought of not completing it can be detrimental mentally. But we completed this challenge. And I think the thing that I felt so good about, even in the hardest moments, was I forgot what it was like to take care of myself.
Mm-hmm.
And being a small business owner, a lot of times you think that by sacrificing these things you're going to make your business better, or your life better, the things. But what I realized was, if I didn't take care of myself, I was no good to anybody else. And the relationships around me were suffering because I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't feeling good about my own self. So for me, that challenge kind of sparked this to say, like, I have to include this every day. I have to get sweaty. I have to move. And so it becomes almost like, I don't know, breathing. Almost.
Yeah, it becomes a piece of what you do. You don't even think about it. Yeah, it's like eating, or something that you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, James? What's up, Emily? Alexa?
So I think for me was crucial that I had to put that in every day. So even now, I'm nursing some kind of knee related thing, and so what I do is I just get I work on the other parts that I can work on. So
Mhm.
maybe it's my upper back and arms and chest and hamstrings, anything else that I can work to kind of continue myself. And I just make sure that I get enough work to feel like I've done what I needed to do to get that good sweat for the day.
Yeah.
And the trick that I use is just most times it's inconvenient. Like most times I'm working out by myself.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah. And I don't know if we said this on this show or not, but the trick that we use is like, we say,
Yeah.
I did.
For real,
I said it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just go 500 meters.
Yeah.
Just start.
Just start doing
Start
something.
moving.
And for some reason that works.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to, I make the plan and then I just have to eventually take that first step and start doing something. Some of our coaches' tricks, these are great. We call the Kindle trick is sleeping in your workout clothes for the next day. And because you wake up, you're like, I'm already dressed to work out. So you're this much closer to getting out of the door.
I can't wait to see who's the first person that wears their workout clothes under their work clothes. Please let it happen.
You just pull them off like you're Superman.
Please.
And then Matthew's trick is he takes his pre-workout at home. So he's all juiced up, the caffeine's flowing. He's like, I got to do something with this energy. And so that spurs him on to kind of get to the gym, to start doing something there.
That's great. What if at that point you don't get to come to the gym? And
You're in
just
trouble.
Like, I gotta mow the lawn. I gotta clean. You gotta do the laundry. Do the laundry. Like, let's get pumped up.
Do you remember that one time?
Oh gosh.
That
No.
it was like I hadn't been drinking any coffee.
Yes.
And you gave where did I get the cup of coffee from? I don't remember what it was.
It was from hometown.
Okay, so I got a cup of coffee from hometown. I came
Y'all,
back in.
I
and
thought he was gonna
hey,
die.
well, so what are we doing today? How are we going to do this? When are we going to do this? Where is it? How is it? What is it? Question after question after question.
It's not good. It was, and then your heart rate, you were like, your blood pressure and heart rate were up.
Yeah, I had to go lay in the corner.
You had to lay on the floor.
Right there.
I'm like, just lay down for a little while. We'll check on you in a little bit. It's bad.
So I don't need really caffeine to keep this thing going.
James said I'm glowing.
James, you're a suck up.
Well, I thought it was kind of sweet for a second, but it is kind of corny.
James, I love you, man. I miss you.
I love you too, bud.
I think the other thing is for us, like trying to make a schedule or staying to schedules, having somebody to kind of be your accountability partner.
100%. Yeah.
Who's yours?
Well, it's kind of gone through phases. My accountability partner right now is class. Kendall and I work out sometimes together, but it's kind of changed as different friends have gone through different seasons of life, you know. So that kind of does shift, but you know, there's been seasons where you and I have worked out a lot together, or you know, just I don't know, it just depends. I mean, I have several friends that I feel like we would always work out together. But I don't mind the shifting, you know, like the shifting is fine. I just got to figure out like whenever it does shift, whenever like your friend gets a job or you know, like they have a different schedule or you have a different schedule, like how to then like go, okay, I need to reassess from here. I'm not going to be able to have that accountability partner anymore. So I either need to A, find a new partner, or B, I need to create some sort of other accountability for myself. So for me, what I've been recently doing is scheduling out my workouts religiously. That's really it. Probably Kindle. What? Give him what? Holla at your girl. Holla.
I think there's a couple. I like to banter with Sergio and he'll ask me what the workout is and if I've done it already today, which automatically means I have to do it at some point.
Yeah.
Jacob will ask me, "Hey, did you do that yet?"
Yeah, I don't like working out with Jacob. He goes too fast.
Yeah, and then usually because we're testing so many workouts right now with our programming kind of change. It forces us to do the workout
Yeah.
already before we test it in the class. So, and I like knowing that because then we can go, ooh, this one was really, really fun. Even
Yeah.
though that means fun is a different word for fun for other people probably somewhere else. Probably fun for you is sitting on the couch eating potato chips, and that's fun for us as well.
It
But we
is
have some
kind of fun.
different variations of fun here.
You try to get this fun out of the way so that you
Can eat
maybe
more of
that
that.
you can go have that fun.
So there's a lot of little things. I like the little bit of a competition, but not necessarily. I just need to, if somebody else has done it.
Sorry.
We won't judge you.
Yeah. Other
So-
tips for you guys. Get a coach. Get a coach. For us in our business, in terms of our marketing, our systems and processes, we have a coach that we talk to weekly. Actually, after this show, we're talking with him today. And he's to keep us accountable as to what we said our goals were back in October, right, when we first started working with him. So we all have coaches. That's one of my greatest things. The fear, or maybe not fear, but the worriness of letting that person down motivates
The
me.
accountability.
Yeah, that motivates me to continue doing it when I don't want to do it.
Yeah, I think there's here or wherever you go, you can, and I guess I say wherever you go. Not all places are created equal. Not all coaches are created equal. I mean, clearly, we the best. Just kidding, but seriously. So no, do your homework if you're going to hire a coach. Like, don't just go hire somebody you saw on the internet that you have to pay $15 an hour, because that's probably not a great deal. Like, do some research on that person, see what they're offering, what they do, what they're like. You're like hiring someone to do that. But if you gym with us here, then you've got a staff of really knowledgeable coaches that love serving other people, and you can get accountability, or you can get extra, if you need help in any sort of personal, emotional, physical, like any way that you need help, we are here to serve you and do it as best we can. And all of us have different niches and different areas. So if one of us it's not our bread and butter, then we'll pass it along to whoever's specialty that is. So I think that's really important. It depends on kind of what you're going through. We want to know about your lives and what's going on and what struggles you face and how we can help, and if there's something that we can offer you to help you through that process and that time.
I think that the next really thing is to go along with that, because if you're looking for a coach, it obviously means you have to share information with that coach, right? You have to share those things that could be bothering you. Look for one of the things is, James, I'll get right to that question here in just a second, but share your dreams or your goals or whatever the thing is that you're trying to accomplish with someone that you can trust. It could be family, it could be a really close friend, somebody that you know is going to lift you up and kind of keep you accountable in a way as well. That helps too. Like if I say, hey, this is my goal, and I talk about this with Casey or with Matthew or with Kendall, any of the coaches, that I tell them, like, man, I'm sick of eating out of containers today or whatever it is, because I have a really, really strong fitness goal that I'm trying to achieve. And they kind of talk me off the bridge, and help me get back to center. James, on your question, you said, what are some key things to look for when looking for a coach? I think the biggest thing is making sure the coach that you have has what you want. Don't hire a coach, okay, that doesn't have what you're looking for, right? If you're going to do pole vaulting, okay, and your coach has never done pole vaulting before, don't hire that coach, right? Look for a coach that has a proven success in the area that you want to grow in, right? And that's got to be number one, because if they do have that proven success there, then you can find out if you guys mesh well together and those things first. But if they don't have proof of success, right, then don't look for them or hire them. I would say that's number one.
I think to also think about it like an interview. Like, you want to interview this person because you're hiring them. So if you're looking, it kind of depends on what realm you're looking for, but yeah, interview them, come to them with questions or about whatever they're helping you with, or you're looking to hire them for. And I guess you can also utilize that same thing and check out reviews, see what other people have experienced, ask to speak to one of their previous clients. I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can kind of track history.
Yeah. What else? Let's see. We kind of started this in the beginning, but to reiterate this, set it correct expectations of where you're trying to go. If you start out going fast, let's say you start out working 7 days a week, you're going to get results fast, right? But the opportunity for burnout is also very, very high, right? Let's say like 9.5 out of 10. You're going to get burnt out trying to keep up with that pace and those workouts, and it's not sustainable for a long term. I'd rather start out slow where I'm working out maybe 2 to 3 days a week and then using that success, because the thing about starting out slow is, yes, the results may be a little slower, but the slower and more consistent the results, when I get to the destination or whatever is my happy place, the slower they will go away, right?
Yeah.
So there's a big point there. So
Yeah.
the slower that I start and I stay consistent, the slower, if life gets in the way and I'm off the wagon for a couple weeks or whatever it is, maybe December, you're like, hey, from Thanksgiving to December till January 1, I kind of let things loose a little bit. You may gain a little bit, but it will not be the same as if you went for 45 days or 30 days really hardcore, lost a lot of weight, etc., and then tried to go off the wagon. You'll probably gain it back and some more.
Mm-hmm.
So the slower and more consistent you lose it, the more likely it is to stay in the long term.
Yeah. I got nothing else to add on to that. Home runs.
Okay. Well, guys, do you want to close this out? Are we good?
Thank you so much for joining us this Friday. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you next Friday at 10:30. Be here, leave work, hide in the bathrooms, eat your lunch, whatever you got to do. Thanks for joining in. We appreciate all y'all.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye.